Hi everybody, Marty Blonsky here with Regina Experts Real Estate Team, and I'm sitting here with Louis Browne from Willows, Welsch, or in Brundige. He's a partner here, he's a lawyer, he's a good friend of mine. Louis does a lot of real estate stuff for me and other things. And anyway, Louis, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure, Marty, and thanks so much for making a video and including me in your planning and in the services you provide to your clients. So I'm a Regina boy. Awesome. I went to Campbell Collegiate here in town. I married a Johnson girl, so we've got a Tartan and Wildcats mixed up in our household. She was my high school sweetheart. We've got 3 children.
Wow.
I went to the U of S for law school. I came out of there in 2002, and then I joined the bar in Saskatchewan in 2003. So I've been practicing law for about 15 years here.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
And you're still alive and doing well.
Yeah, no, I mean, Regina is it's a great place to raise a family, to work. I also had the honor of being a city councillor from 2006 to 2012, so still wear my I Love Regina gear. Like I say, I'm a proud Regina boy. I love Regina.
Awesome, man, awesome. So Louis does a lot of real estate deals for me, so let's just get started with that. So whenever you get a new client, what do you find are some of the challenges that people are facing? Not necessarily, well, let's start with the real estate and maybe expand from there.
Yeah, so I mean, real estate clients come to us in one of 2 categories. They either have a realtor or they don't. Mm-hmm. I certainly appreciate when they have a realtor because that makes our life a whole lot easier.
You heard it there.
There we go.
You heard it.
A lot of things are taken care of that we don't have to then do from scratch. So typically when we have our realtor clients, then the contract is executed, and it's a matter of dealing with the conditions and chatting with them. Some of the challenges with our real estate clients are sometimes the timing of it, because clients don't always understand that if you're going to have a house purchase, we need a bit of time to process the documents on our end, and it's probably helpful to be around for a little while after the possession date, just in case there are some issues. So we've had to draft powers of attorney for people because they're in another country at the time of possession. Now we can work through all of these challenges, but it's a little bit more straightforward if people are here, if we get the documents well in advance, and then they're here on the date of possession and for a little while afterwards.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. So in terms of things like when you get a client into your office and you're going through everything, what do you find that maybe are some of the shortfalls that you kind of wish people had a little bit more knowledge about, or maybe things that you're educating them on, that kind of thing?
Sure. So there's probably a number of topics that we could touch on in that regard, but I think for today I'd like to talk about wills and the estate planning documents, because if somebody's buying a house, for example, whether it's their first house or their 5th or 10th house or whatever, they're acquiring a pretty valuable asset. So that begs the question, and nobody likes to talk about this stuff, Marty. I don't like to talk about it either, but the reality is at some point we're all going to pass away. So do you have a will? If something terrible happens, like you get hit by a bus and you're in a coma, do you have the documents in place that somebody is going to be able to manage your property, that somebody is going to be able to make decisions for you in terms of your own health care? So these are the 3 bad situations that I talk about where people ought to give some consideration to having a will, having a power of attorney, and having a health care directive.
Okay, so will, I understand. Power of attorney, I understand. What's the healthcare directive?
So just to make sure that we're all on the same page, the will is the document that you need when you pass away, that your assets, everything you've accumulated in your life, will be distributed according to your wishes. So that's your will. But your will is of no help until you're dead. So if you're in a terrible situation but you're still alive, like you're in a coma, the power of attorney, you basically give the power to somebody to make decisions for you related to your property and your estate. However, without a health care directive, people will not be able to make a decision for you regarding your health care, whether you're going to live in a long-term health care facility, what sort of directions you might want for the doctor. Do you want to be artificially kept alive for 15 years, or so that's why we encourage people to give some consideration to all three of these documents.
Wow.
And then, you know, if you have your will, power of attorney, healthcare directive in place, then you've planned for the three bad situations that I talked about.
Yeah, that's pretty important stuff, actually, right? I mean, everybody should have that in order.
Yeah, and particularly, I mean, for people who are buying a house, I mean, it means that there's a pretty valuable asset in your possession now that's part of your estate. So what do you want to have happen, you know, with that house if something goes wrong? So again, you know, lawyers don't always talk about sort of doom and gloom sort of things like this, but it's probably better to have that conversation now when people are healthy, because, you know, there's this this situation that I often refer to, Marty, that originated in Florida. And what happened was there was a gal in a coma. She did not have a healthcare directive. Her husband and her parents spent 15 years litigating in court because one of them wanted to, you know, pull the plug and the other wanted to pray for a miracle. So, you know, that was a lot of anguish for that family, a lot of legal fees for that family, and it all could have been saved and averted and avoided had she had a healthcare directive in place.
Wow, yeah, see, important stuff. That's why it's good to have an expert in your corner. Okay, so if people want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
Sure. So by all means, my direct line is 306-565-4817.
We're gonna put that on the thing anyway.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, 306-565-4817 is probably the easiest way. I mean, people can email me.
Sure.
And we're located, conveniently located, plenty of free parking in the warehouse district at 1916 Dudney Avenue, up on the 4th floor.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much, Louis. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And you guys, if you have any questions, all the contact information for Louis will be right on the video there, so you can feel free to contact him anytime. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Cheers.